President Bongbong Marcos signs into law a measure granting him emergency powers to suspend or reduce fuel excise taxes aimed at easing the impact of soaring oil prices. Here's the report.
Long queues and heavy crowding, commuting in the country now feels like going to war. Passengers are forced to squeeze and push their way just to get a ride. Some MRT and LRT commuters say ridership has increased since fuel prices went up, especially with a 50% fare discount in place.
Minsan po, lalo kapag rush hour, super overwhelming niya po. Sobrang siksikan po talaga. Most of the time po, parang mas nagiging hassle po yung pagko-commute sa LRT, MRT. Kahit sabihin po natin mas naliles yung pamasahe kasi mostly po siksikan. Kapag matagal po lalo yung interval, mas dadami po yung nag-wait. So siksikan po lalo yung mga tao. Laanan pa po lalo ng kasi yung LRT na po yung pinaka-convenient sakyan ngayon usually, lalo na po ng mga students.
The situation worsens when train breakdowns occur, like the disruption last night at Taft and Magallanes stations, causing longer lines and waiting times. On Tuesday, nearly 500,000 passengers rode the MRT, while more than 400,000 took the LRT. Meanwhile, along Commonwealth Avenue in Quezon City, passengers struggled to find riders due to limited public transport. Commuters are now forced to improvise.
Arin ko na lang, papuntang Paco. Kaya walang masakyan. Tiyagay-tiyagalan din tayo ngayon kasi wala tataas talaga yung gasolina.
Anong balak bukas?
Bala na po.
Other options include the EDSA busway and the UV Express, but UV fares may also increase. All of these are ripple effects of massive oil price hikes linked to the ongoing conflict in the Middle East. President Bongbong Marcos has signed a law granting him emergency powers to suspend or reduce excise taxes on fuel. However, the measure will not be implemented immediately.
Titignan ngayon natin kailan ang pinakamagandang oras, when is the best time to use that new authority, because there are conditions within the law that have to be satisfied. But nonetheless, we are trying to determine because ang mahirap talaga dito is pabago-bago ang presyo. Alam naman ninyo lahat, paggising nyo sa umaga, iba na naman ang presyo. May pronouncement na nanggaling sa US, bababa ang presyo. Tapos mamaya ng konti, tataas na naman. So, mahirap talaga magplano.
The President has also signed Executive Order 110, declaring a state of national energy emergency to address supply and pricing concerns.
Malinaw ang salitang ginamit natin, energy emergency. Hindi ito emergency ng pangkalahatan. It is a very specific and a very precise emergency. It is an emergency of the energy sector, the supply of energy, and the prices of energy. Dahil ang pinagmulan ng problema ay ang supply at ang presyo ng enerhiya. At yun ang kailangan naming tugunan ng direkta agad. Kaya that is why we declared not a general state of emergency but a state of energy emergency.
But some senators say the government response has been too slow.
Mukhang sobra lang ang bagal. Kasi reactive di ba? Isipin mo, narinig mo kahapon mismo, naka-breakdown ang Congress. My God, crisis na tayo, naka-breakdown ang Congress. Emergency situation, the President may call on the Congress at any time.
Dapat kaagad, nung nangyari ito sa Strait of Hormuz, na-anticipate na natin magkakaroon ng supply issues. No? Unlike sa Ukraine, tumaas nga yung presyo pero walang supply issues yun. No? Kasi hindi naman tayo bumibili sa kanila. So ito dapat na-anticipate kaagad. No? At when I say anticipate, kasama na dito yung pagdadraft ng National Contingency Plan. Kasi nga, ang punto naman natin dito is kailangan guided rin ang publiko at ang lehislatura kung ano ang gagawin sa bawat ibang senaryo.
Lawmakers warn that if the oil crisis is not addressed immediately, jobs could be at risk. Despite concerns over global supply, the President assures that the country's oil supply remains stable for now.
Sa aming analysis, wala tayong problema para sa supply ng petrolyo at saka ng mga petroleum products.